it turns black and white. Like you could feel the anger. You can feel him punching the bigotry out of us. I'm just like, yo, I see that. Like you saw Martin Luther. If they really wanted to play, you saw Martin Luther King, you saw Gandhi, you saw Nelson Mandela, you saw all their silhouettes.
All in the background. Listen, man, Gurren Lagann. I'm not gonna take off my glasses for this one.
Yo, go ahead. Just let them know. Just let them know about the spirals.
Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. So you know what I'm
They
saying?
don't know.
To the future of this podcast, because only great things are coming. And if there's anything that we can gain from this discussion between you and I, like you said earlier, is that so many people grew up in the same exact childhood in multiple different parts of the planet. It's kind of crazy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Beyond Legend, the podcast. Episode, pretty sure it's 5. The 5th episode. You always find a way to get on these milestone episodes that I'll be doing, Recon, but you know we had to have you here, my boy. I'm happy to see you again, bro. What's going on? How you doing, brother?
Yo, man. My good brother, Jay, dude. First and foremost, thank you so much to your wonderful community for the continuous amount of love that they've shown and these collaborations that we've continued to do. They are some of my highlights within the community. So I have nothing but love for you, and especially for your community, man. So all love to you guys, and I'm looking forward to an awesome discussion.
Of course, bro. The rats are always behind King Recon no matter what. We show out for Recon. That's it, bro. That's what we do, bro.
Yes, sir.
That's it. But bro, this topic is very near and dear to our hearts, and I could not think of anyone better. We were talking about it earlier, but like I think the perfect way to start off is like everyone's got an anime backstory, right? We're millennials, man. We're Toonami babies, bro. So we grew up with the purity. You know what I'm saying? To me, Toonami is like 80s and basketball. That's Magic and Larry, dog. Like that's it. That's it, bro. I'm telling you, bro. That's Showtime Lakers, dog. Like they don't know about that era. They just don't know. They don't know about it, bro. Tell me the backstory. Give it just any way you want. Like, what was it? What's the anime? What was it that got you, bro? Like, what is it?
I got you, bro. Let me pull out some good old tapes right here. You know, you
we got the tapes.
Dude,
that VCR.
Look at the Gundam wing right here, bro.
Gundam, I told you, Recon is my guy. I keep telling you, that's my brother, dog. That is it. That's the one. Gundam wing, bro.
Yo,
that's the one.
Gundam wing, Dragon Ball Z.
Bro,
Sailor Moon. That was
bro,
like my
we had
OG
the same.
big 3.
Bro, we had the same childhood. We had the same childhood, bro. That was the 3. Those are the 3, bro.
Every single day after school, it didn't matter what it was. It was either my PlayStation 1, where I was hopping on some Toonami to watch one of those 3, whichever one I got home in time to watch. And I'll tell you, dude, to this day, I still have friends that I've met thanks to one of those 3 series. And obviously, like there was the Pokemons at the time and the Yu-Gi-Ohs that came within the era as well. But I feel like those 3, those are the ones that like really had me locked in to be like, I didn't even know what anime was, obviously, but I was like, these are different cartoons than the one I'm watching on like either the same network or other networks. Toonami was just, you made the Magic and Bird comparison, like truly, they introduced us to, similar to how they made the NBA the big thing that it is, and then Jordan took it to the next level and made it a global hit. That's exactly what Toonami was. Where like Sailor Moon and made it a really huge deal, and then Dragon Ball Z was the Jordan that came and took it to the next era.
Took it to the next level.
I just, man, I'll never forget. I compare every single weekly experience that I have to the Cell Saga, bro. Like that was my first weekly experience. I saw the Cell Saga every single week. I was like, Gohan, my dude, going up against Cell, the Kamehameha battles at the time, obviously. 2, bro. Super Saiyan 2. I mean, come on. That was my stuff. So that most certainly was the original on TV. And then a couple years later, whenever I didn't fall off of it or anything, but I was just watching it because it was on TV. But dude, my boy Robert hits me up one day, and I was in middle school. He was like, yo, there's a new series that's out right now that's really, really good called Naruto. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna check it out. Yeah. Bro, it just so happened to be that the episode that I first watched for Naruto was episode 19, which is the legendary Zabuza Haku final episode of that arc.
Yeah,
that was my first exposure to Naruto, bro. I was like,
classic.
Yo, this is insane. So then I became really on whatever that was airing at the time. Naruto, Mars, Zatch Bell, all that stuff. And I was like, okay, now I'm really locked in. But it wasn't until they did the Toonami Marathon that did Naruto versus Neji. It was episodes 59 to 62.
Yes. Yep.
And me and my cousin, right after that episode went off the air, we were like, okay, we're gonna go rewatch the episode on YouTube. And so we went to go rewatch the episodes on YouTube, and we found in the little recommended section Sasuke versus Gaara, and I was like, that wasn't on TV. Like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I was like, we clicked on that, and then we found something else, Naruto versus Gaara, and then we found Tsunade and Jiraiya. I was like, bro, what is all this?
You
stuff?
found YouTube
We were
anime,
so
man. Yep, they found it.
YouTube anime.
They
So
found it.
I was like, man, that was my first exposure to like the Japanese subtitled anime and things of that nature. And bro, from then on out, the rest is history, man. Like I started binging Sasuke Retrieval, then I started watching Naruto weekly, and that's it.
That was
That's
history,
it.
man. That's how
And
it
we're
always
here.
gets you, bro. That's how it always gets you, bro. Like, I love that story because every one of us have that memory. Like, especially in our age bracket, you know, basically from like what? You're thinking like what, 27 to like 36, like that little pocket where all of us basically lived the same childhood, bro. And it's like, for me, it was because I was born in England and I moved to the United States, and I remember the first anime I ever saw on television. It's like one of the earliest memories of anime I've ever had, right? And it was Sailor Moon, and I was just watching it, and I'm just like, what is this magical? What is this? But I'm here, bro. I'm like 7. I'm just here. Let's just look at it. Let's watch. And I'm here and I'm tapping in. And then from that on, it's like Dragon Ball Z is the next memory. I remember I was grounded, bro, and I was peeking through my door and I was watching Goku turn Super Saiyan. And I remember that I wasn't even supposed to be doing that. And I was like, oh my God, he's turning Super Saiyan. So like, you have those early memories, bro. And then, bro, I'm telling you, when you brought up Gundam Wing, it hit my spirit. Like, it hit my spirit. Like, I felt, you know, everything leapt up because I'm like, bro, Gundam Wing was the series, right? I love Dragon Ball Z, but something about Gundam Wing, I watched every episode. I watched every, bro, I loved everybody. Like, bro, Duo Maxwell is my guy, bro. Duo Maxwell, bro, that's my guy. The Death Knife, bro. I'm telling you, that's my guy. That is my guy. So it's like, bro, like, and then the whole, what's the guy's name with the wolf claw? Hero's rival. What is his name, bro? Oh my God.
Zex Marquise with the tall geese?
No, not Zex. It's the it's like based off Chinese mythology too. Like he's got the ponytail braid. You know who I'm talking about? It's the other. One of the Gundam. He was clean with the wolf with the claw. Yo, we gotta look it up. Hold on.
I'm looking at the DVD.
We gotta look it up. Because I remember Troa. I remember it's Wu Fei. I think his name is. I mean, I see it here, but it's Wu Fei. Because there's Zex Marquise, obviously classic. Treyas, Relena, Dorothy, Corte, bro. Like these names, Troa Barton, bro. These names, and they're all from different countries, bro. All of them. Chinese. We have the Brits. We have the Arabics. I'm just like, bro, we got it all. Hiro Yui, the Japanese. I'm like, bro, we got representation everywhere here. Like, we got it all here. Oh my goodness, man. The mechas back in the day, bro. Like, there was nothing like it. It was nothing like mechas like in the early 90s, bro. 90s and then 2000s. So it's like, what was it about Gundam that really got you?
I think for me, like you were just saying, it's the giant robots thing. My dad, I forgot to bring this up. In Puerto Rico, the biggest anime was called Messenger. So it was one of the early like Toei giant robot shows that really became a thing. So like in Latin America, Saint Seiya and Dragon Ball and Messenger are just huge. So I remember seeing the giant robots whenever I was a kid. But when I saw Gundam, that was like my mask, where I was like, oh no, like you guys have that one. Of course, that's like from the old era, but this is my stuff. And I think just seeing the toys, because I used to play with the action figures.
I had the action figures.
You know, like, and going to school and talking about what we saw in the latest episode and things of that. That's really was what made it extremely special. Not only that, you brought up the fact about watching each episode. I think that's also something that I have to give a lot of credit to Gundam Wing to, is that I can watch that series today and be just as enticed as I was as like 6 or 7 years old. And it like had like a universal quality that brought children, teenagers, and adults to appreciate this series. And so I think it's the TV show that made you want to come back. And then when the TV show wasn't on air, you got to play with the action figures and have your fun with that. So I think that's what really stood out to me about Gundam.
It's a very there's a lot of adult themes. Like it's an adult show. when you go back and watch it, I'm like, oh no, this is like serious stuff. This ain't some Mickey Mouse, like, nah, like, bro, the first thing you see Hero do in like the first couple of episodes is slap a woman. Like, he slaps her. I'm just like, yo, why are you doing that, bro? Like, that's so unnecessary. I was like, yo, he's toxic. He was the first toxic king.
Yeah.
Before the Sasuke, bro.
And then, like, really early on, I remember he tried detonating himself whenever he ended up detonating the thing. So it was like suicidal thoughts. I was like, what is going on?
He was like, what's up with him, bro?
Yeah, what's going on with him?
Oh my goodness.
A lot of mature themes. You're absolutely right. A lot of mature themes.
It was a classic, man. And I think the thing I appreciate about it the most is like there was a small niche of us, but a lot of us kind of kept it private. It was really just like our childhood friends that, you know, we go out ride bikes with and go to the park with, playing Beyblade with. Those are the people you really like talked about anime with. But when you go to school or like you're going to church or you're going to like other places, you don't really talk about it, right? And it seems like that's a common story for a lot of us growing up with anime compared to how it is now. Did you share the same thing?
Not really. Where I'm at least Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach, like, that is huge. Where I grew up, at least. So like here within the schools, at least whenever I was in middle school and in high school, I guess I was blessed enough to go to schools that at the very least had select individuals that were really into this stuff. Because, man, I'll tell you, bro. At least for those three, for Dragon Ball, Naruto, and Bleach, I still have friends to this day that I met in school because we would openly talk about either what happened on the latest Adult Swim or Toonami episode, or what happened in the latest manga chapter, or even when an episode dropped for either Bleach or Naruto, like, we would be there for that. And then the Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi games really brought a lot of us together too. So I feel like it was like a combination of what you said, where it was the neighborhood kids and the school kids, but that world became a mix. Like there was a blurring of the lines thanks to those three series. And I actually talked about this when Toriyama unfortunately passed away earlier this year, is how he was able to bring so many of us together, because it was thanks to Dragon Ball Z that I'm still friends with people that I don't know if I ever would have been friends with, simply because I bring up this story as just a quick side note. Whenever I was in middle school, we had a question that was brought up at the beginning of class that was like, yo, what's your favorite TV show? And I raised my hand and I was like, Dragon Ball Z. And then like another kid said, oh, me too, Dragon Ball Z. Another kid was like, oh, me too, Dragon Ball Z. And so I feel like it's the stew ball run. You have to be the first one to pick up a napkin in order for everyone else to follow. And I feel like that's what it is. Like, once somebody is comfortable enough to share, like, yeah, I really rock with this, then other people will be like, oh yeah, I rock with it too. And so I think there's a lot of people where I live that were comfortable enough to talk about their love for anime, where it didn't really feel like it was outcasted or anything. But I definitely do understand the sentiment of how that could have been the case in other places, for sure.
So I like what you said there, because that's something I think I forgot. Because in school, you always had the group of kids that played Pokemon. So I always had people that collected Pokemon cards. I always had people that collected Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Beyblading, oh my god, that fad was unreal. Like, Beyblade might be the most underrated era of our childhood we've ever had. Like, Beyblade was a whole different ball game. But like, it was the Budokai and the Dragon Ball Z that was really, because it brought a lot of worlds together, right? From me coming from the suburbs to people that grew up in, you know, not the suburbs. And we're like, yo, we love Dragon Ball Z. And there's like, yo, bet. You trying to play Budokai? Yeah, let's play Budokai. And then you have the LAN tournaments. You find out they play Super Smash Brothers. So like, all of these things like all overlapped into this one big pocket. It was like a pocket. It wasn't really mainstream, and maybe that's why I'm trying to go with it. It wasn't mainstream, but you had a nice little den of like 8 people that all did the same thing and all liked the same thing, right? So like, it's different, man. It was a different time, but it was almost peaceful, because with social media, you see anime everywhere, right? It's mainstream. People get to talk about it. You can connect with people all over the world. We didn't have that. We had AOL and MSN, bro. Like, we didn't have that.
We had MySpace.
We had MySpace, bro. You know, with like ghetto SpongeBob's with grills. Like, we didn't have those. We don't have those days. But bro, it was the local anime community was one of the most special times, because it was like, you know, you didn't have no job, you know, you barely had many responsibilities. So what are you doing right after work? 6 hours a day, Budokai, Toonami.
Yeah.
Same thing, rinse, wash, repeat,
Yeah.
over and over and over again. As adults, we got so much stuff to do. We barely got time for the anime and manga like we used to.
Sure.
But back then, that's all we used to absorb. Our imaginations are a product of that,
Correct.
of that medium. So it really, it shaped a generation. It really did.
And I love something that you brought up, like I was telling you off air in regards to a Beyond Legend episode that I think it was episode 3, where you were talking about your inspiration to get in the community and talking about like sports and stuff of that nature. I feel like there's been such a great blend lately, as well as maybe the way that you and I grew up, of how people take sports and anime and bring them together. And now, of course, we're seeing them come into the mainstream more. But I feel like that's always been such a natural blend for me, at least. Because one of the ways that I was able to understand DBZ is that thanks to sports and trying to become the best that you could possibly be at whatever it is that you're trying to do, I was able to understand someone like Goku and Vegeta and rivalries and things of that nature, because I could be like, okay, Goku and Vegeta are rivals, similar to how the Lakers and Celtics are rivals and things like that. And so it was always a natural thing for me to associate both of them with each other. And I think that was also really important because a lot of the sports kids were also anime kids, from what I've noticed.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Like mainly like basketball fans. I found like basketball was really the overlap. I maybe Slam Dunk, but no one really. Slam Dunk wasn't really like the. You'd have to be a hardcore anime fan to really tap into Slam Dunk back then, right? Yeah. So yeah, I wonder what that is. But I think I mentioned this with Morge, I believe. But the black community in particular, like the black Hispanic community in particular, massively into anime in America. Like you were talking about, in Latin America, it was Dragon Ball, it was Saint Seiya, right? I don't know what it was, but it's like, it seemed like a lot of the people in the black community have been shaped by Dragon Ball considerably, right? And then you'll have your Sailor Moons, and then Naruto is really what kind of brought everyone together, and then all of that other stuff like that. Like, but what do you think it is about anime that has reached a lot of minorities? Why was it the minorities that really clinged on to it?
A great question. I feel like looking at it from the standpoint of the big three, right? You have 3 series that have connected so many people within all over the world and all different types of communities and upbringings. I think there's just something that resonates. At least like what I'm saying in regards to like those 3, Dragon Ball, there's something there that's universal that connects to people no matter where it is that they come from, whether that is a dream, like wanting to reach something like a Luffy or a Naruto, wanting to get out of where you are to potentially something greater, feeling something within yourself that could improve, like a Goku, or seeing someone deal with depression, like Ichigo in the Hueco arc. There's a lot of things that are tackled there that maybe people didn't get the opportunity to see in other mediums. I know that most certainly was the case for me.
Yes.
I felt like as I watched, especially Naruto and Bleach early on, I was like, man, a lot of this stuff is really connecting with me. Like I remember watching the Rock Lee stuff in particular and being like, good lord, like this stuff is really connecting with me. You know what I'm saying?
Rock Lee has the streets. He got the streets, bro.
He's got the streets. He's got the streets. So it's like, it's characters that like that I feel connect with not just the minorities, but I feel like anyone who has a soul, who has breath in this life, they can resonate with certain themes and messages. And of course, certain things will resonate with you stronger than others. But I feel like I said, due to the amount of different things that these people are trying to say, something's gonna resonate with you, and it's that like that sort of, it's between you and the person who's creating this. Sometimes you don't feel like something's created specifically for you, where it just resonates like, man, I can't wait to share this joy with other people. And it's maybe that's what it is. It's just like an innate, similar to what you were talking about with Dragon Ball and Gundam Wing, that innate like thing inside of us to want to share a sentiment with other people, similar to what caused them going to assume you and I to create these YouTube channels in the first place, to go out and find other people that are like us. Maybe that's the same way that it is with these pieces of fiction, where we saw like Naruto and his struggles and we resonate with him so strongly. We were like, okay, I understand, like I get it. I really, really get it. But I'm interested in hearing your answer to this question, because it is definitely an interesting one.
You know, that's a very interesting take. It's not something I thought about, but at the same time, I felt it as you were speaking, because what I think about the most is the example of Naruto, right? And I think in that time, there can be some, I want to use my words carefully here, but there can be a complex that we can have as minorities, considering that, you know, where we live, where we grew up in. I went to a predominantly white school. So I was always kind of not an outcast, but I was always different than everybody.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of people that were the same as me. So like when I watch Naruto and you see him lonely on the swing, people ignoring him trying to be acknowledged, the class clown, you see someone trying to get the attention, and you kind of resonate with that, because I'm like, man, why am I so different than everyone else? And you're trying to fit in so much. So I think that's why Naruto really got a lot of people, because to see him come up, it's like, bro, believe it. Like, I'm telling you, like, he got you, right? Naruto really got you. So that's why, to me, early Naruto is one of the best animes ever. Naruto Part 1, bro, is unmatched. Like one of the most unmatched animes we've ever seen. But even taking it to Bleach, I think with Bleach, because we were younger and Bleach was a lot more rugged and bloody at the time, it made you feel like an adult watching it. That's true. With the music and the fear and the demons, and you're just like, oh my god, this is scary, but it's Bleach, it's anime, right? So you have that too. And then there's this Goku, no matter what, I'm gonna fight back and win. Watching all your friends die, turning Super Saiyan, always fighting against adversity. Again, the whole no one else is like me, I'm a Saiyan. Even Vegeta, once you realized who Vegeta really was, because we didn't like Vegeta at first. He was cool. Vegeta was cool, but we didn't like him. Then you saw what Frieza was. Then you see it, I'm like, wait a minute, I kind of like Vegeta. Man, Vegeta had it rough. Like you're starting to like resonate with them. So when you have those three around it, it's kind of just like, okay, we're attached. Like, I'm locked in here, I'm locked in there. Like, this is it. This is resonating with me. And I guess for us as young men, that was the target audience, right? It resonated with us because that's what we were going through at the time. So I really do think it's just the depiction of being noticed and overcoming and dealing with your adolescence and all your hormones and wondering what's going on with your body, and you're really trying to figure everything out, but it's like these guys seem to just keep figuring it out, so I'm gonna keep watching them so I can try and figure it out too. So I really think that's where that relatability comes in.
No, that's very, very well said. As a matter of fact, the other day, Fiji, AJ, and I, we did a podcast talking about characters that sort of represent our tastes, and I brought up Ichigo, Naruto, and Luffy in one category, and I just said inspiration, because growing up, those three characters for me were so integral. Like, I made the comparison that to the generation before me, you know, they had Babe Ruth and Hank Aaron and Jackie Robinson and a lot of like actual individuals that would be like the symbol of hope and or of something that you can be one day in the future. And I what I found with Luffy, Ichigo, and Naruto is that they sort of represented that from a fictional standpoint, like these individuals that you can resonate with and also want to be like. Where you see, like, for example, when we're talking about Naruto really showed me the importance of being empathetic with other individuals, especially whenever you have differing viewpoints. Like, it was such a massive eye-opening experience seeing that at a very young age. Really made my upbringing way different, thanks to seeing what Naruto, how he dealt with, like you said, his loneliness, his isolation, his struggles, wanting to achieve that attention, but also the other individuals who didn't see the same things that he saw, how he then the Takano Jutsu stuff, which I still find to be a very beautiful thing. How he utilized that, how Kishimoto utilized that within the themes of his story. It's really, really powerful stuff. And cutting over to Luffy for a second, I'm sure we'll get into the One Piece whenever we do.
Exactly, because I was wondering, like, where does One Piece come into here?
We'll definitely get to that. But one thing that's always stood out to me in regards to Luffy that I feel like is just universally resonant, at the very least when it comes to us as young men, is that Luffy sort of represents the ideal man that takes all accountability and responsibility for his actions. Like, he'll do something, and then whatever happens because of this, I will take all of the bearing of the consequences, the responsibility, all of that. I will take that myself. So don't you worry. All I need is the okay from someone else, and or once I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, and I understand all of the potential negative things that could come of that. And I think that is so extremely key, because obviously fear can stop us from doing many things on a small scale and on a large scale. And I feel like Luffy's representation of when fear doesn't stop you, specifically what repercussions and things of that nature can happen because of the aftermath of something. Luffy shows the positives of that in a lot of different ways, and the negatives, such as like punching Celestial Dragon, amazing moment, but what happened because of that, right? You see the negative consequences of it. And so he's like the perfect representation of a man of action who deals with the consequences and the rewards of being someone who attempts to achieve something. And so, but we'll talk about One Piece at some point.
So,
I just wanted to bring that up.
No, so I love that, because when it comes to like characters like Luffy, One Piece is, I find that One Piece is something you get into after you've done your Dragon Ball Z and your Naruto and had a taste of Bleach, but then you fall in love with One Piece. That's normally how it works. Some people fell in love with it early, but just on that comment about Luffy, I find that so interesting, because Luffy has always been, whatever I do kind of just works out for me, right? And it's always teaching you face your fear. But I think the importance of Sabaody in particular was the fact that it didn't work, and the pain and the consequences of it not working. And then the same thing with Marine, that whole stretch of just peak fiction, the height of One Piece, right? From Sabaody to post Marineford, the height of One Piece. And the reason why is because it didn't work. The gung-ho, everything's gonna work out, it didn't work because it didn't work out. It just didn't work out. It just didn't. And it just goes to show in life, you can have as many good intentions, you can have as much courage, you can have as much faith as you want. Sometimes it does not work out, and you have to be able to get back up anyway. And that's really the key of like a lot of these early animes, and most of the animes, to be honest, most shonen. The whole theme of shonen is get back up. It's always just get back up. Goku, get back up. Ichigo, get back up. Luffy, get back up. It's the same message every time. Get up, bro. That's and like, I don't know, man. It's something for me, because we live in an era now where everyone's trying to define what masculinity is, and everyone's trying to put their own spin on it. But it's really a simple concept. It's just get up. That's it. It's okay how you feel. It's okay about the pain you're going through. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel all of that stuff. Your feelings aren't the problem, as long as you get up. Just get up. That's it. I was like, bro, and it's just that simple. I'm just like, yo, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So like, I love that so much. And I think it's really shaped a lot of us. And I think one of the sad things I always hear is people saying like, oh, I was never really into anime, or it's just childish cartoons. And people have a stigma behind it, and some of the stigma is warranted based on certain people's behavior. Sure. But I always tell people the same thing. At the end of the day, it is a story. This is just storytelling in a different format. If you like stories, you're going to like anime. It's it. You just need to move past your preconceived notions of it. Like, if you don't like animation, okay, that's fine. But again, you should probably open your eyes. There's people that say, oh, I don't like plays. Plays is just storytelling. If you watch a play and watch a good play, you'll be like, wow, what a great play. Like, it's just that simple. It's the same thing with theater, right? You're watching movies. You love watching movies, but you won't go to the theater. Where do you think these guys started? Where do you think they learned how to act? Like, it's the same thing with voice acting. As I practice voice acting, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh no, this is acting. Because I have to literally make the faces. I literally have to imagine myself as the person, make the faces, get the emotions, because you see it delivered in the voice. And it's like, that's another thing that we underestimated. Them early voice actors, man, like early Naruto's voice actor, iconic. Early Frieza, early raspy Frieza. Now listen, this is a great question. Which Frieza do you like more? The raspy evil Frieza, or the really petty posh Frieza? Which Frieza, dog? Tell me which Frieza.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. It might be the petty Frieza, man. It might be the petty Frieza.
It's gotta be the posh Frieza, bro. There's nothing
it's
like.
Gotta be, bro.
Filthy Monkeys doesn't hit like posh Frieza, bro. It don't hit.
It doesn't. It doesn't. There's just something there, like you said, for petty posh Frieza, like for both Frieza and also from the other standpoint in terms of somebody that you want to root for, the original Gohan voice actress as well. Was also like, Like, yo, I'm with you 110%, baby. Like, let's go.
Yes.
For sure.
So when did One Piece come in for you? When did it come in for you in this timeline?
So I'm so excited to hear your thoughts on this too, because I feel like everyone has the how did you get into like more anime and manga besides the ones that you started off with. And so this one is mine, right? Where I gotten caught up with Naruto, got caught up with Bleach, and of course watch OP. Oh, I'm sorry. That comes later. Naruget and Bleach Get where I watched my series. Classics. And so I was like, I was trying to find something to watch while the episodes were coming out week. So I found Death Note, and I found Code Geass, and I found Gorilla Dawn, and I found all that greatness, right? And then eventually got into this one. And dude, it was one of those things to where when I started it, I knew like there was something in me that it resonated right off the bat. I'd watched obviously a few episodes on Toonami, just didn't like keep up with it like I did Naruto or anything else. But I'd already like messed with the vibe. But bro, there came a certain point to where it just became my jam. Maybe it might have been as early as episode 3, where Luffy forces Kobe to hit him as they exit, and I got to see like a showcase of something I'd never seen in a story before, where like Luffy was showing like a really interesting thing that just made me be like, okay, there's something different about the series. And then as they head off into the sunset with To the Grand Line playing, all the Marines go out and do the salute, I was like, okay, no, I rock with this a lot. And then obviously you get the Arlong Park, which is really when I became a fan, and Drum Island and everything that follows. I was like, okay, we're in this. And we talked about Giant Skype in a previous episode. But the thing I think that really hit home for me in regards to One Piece and how it factors into all of this is that I feel like out of all of the series I had experienced up until this point, it was the one that hit me the hardest when I needed it to hit the hardest. So like I feel like everyone gets into a series when they're younger, when they're older, and there's certain experiences that hit you at the right time. And I feel like One Piece was that for me, where just entering high school, obviously have enough time to binge the godly amount of episodes that are in the series. But I think the most important thing about it is I was so uncertain at the time about my future, where I didn't know. Obviously, in my heart, I knew what I wanted to do, which was to write and/or be on television. Those were the things that had always been, speaking to me. Or those two things, ended up doing both. But those were the two things that really stuck out to me. But I was like, man, I don't know if I can do either of them. There was that level of uncertainty. So One Piece came at the perfect time where seeing Luffy, not just Luffy, seeing Sanji and Nami and Usopp and Zoro all coming together to go out and attempt to achieve their dreams, barring any obstacles, really meant something to me. And so as things continued on, and then of course you get that legendary scene in Jaya that truly just put the nail on the coffin. Like I gotta do what I was born to do. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
So
gotta do it.
It just came at the perfect time, and definitely one of the lowest points in my entire life for sure, in regards to the uncertainty and not knowing what was going to happen in the future. So it was one of those things that came at the perfect time. But what was so beautiful about One Piece is after I caught up to it, all I wanted to do was find something else like it, and I feel like that. And find something else that hit me as hard as One Piece did, led me to find so many incredible experiences. And I feel like that is my One Piece is sort of like my I'm here forever. Like it's like Luffy putting the flag on Chopper's on Drum Island.
Yeah.
Like, yo, this is mine. It's unbreakable. We're going on. You know what I'm saying? Like that for me is kind of like what One Piece was for all of anime, where I was like, from that point forward, I just wanted to experience everything the medium had to offer. So you after that we go to the Toradoras and the Angel Beats and
I don't know about Toradora, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't care what it was. I just wanted to experience something that made me feel like that made me feel. But I'm curious on hearing yours, dude, because when I was watching your tier list a couple years ago for the animes, I remember seeing Toradora in your S tier.
Bro, boy,
like this guy's from my era. He gets it.
Bro, you don't know. Everyone's like, yo, romance anime. I'm like, oh, if Toradora's not on the top of your list, you have not watched romance. You don't know about it. You don't know. I keep telling people, bro. Like, we'll say that. Yeah, we'll say Toradora because, listen, man, one of these days, I'm just going to do a whole breakdown of Toradora because it is the most rewatchable romance anime of all time, bro. For One Piece, it was so interesting because I like Naruto and I like Dragon Ball Z and you know, Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura, right? So I was a WB17 kid as well. When 4Kids came out, I saw One Piece on Toonami, but I never really paid attention to it. But on 4Kids, what caught my interest was the 4Kids theme song, the One Piece rap. As a kid, that was my jam, bro. That was it. That was Homecoming, Kanye West. That was a Millie, Lil Wayne. Yeah, I'm just like, bro, I memorized everything, bro. His name's Zolo. He's just like a samurai. Yo, I'm just like, bro. I was like, what is this One Piece rap? And it's like, Luffy's laugh was so goofy and trash. Like all that. Like, bro, it was so cheesy. But for some reason, I was all in. And bro, something about Jersey Sanji, I don't know what it is, but that was my first, that's when I knew, I'm like, I like this guy and his lollipop and his weird accent and like just flirting with women. Like him flirting with Nami is so ingrained in the first time he saw Nami and the way he flirted with Nami, funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Zoro putting a booger in the water and then forcing him to drink it, dog. Baratier was so memorable to me because that's what I was watching 4Kids. So like when I see Baratier, Sanji with the Jersey accent, and then bro, the scene with Gin, all burned into my memory. He makes the food and Gin's eating it. He's crying. He said, this is the best meal I've ever had. And Luffy's just watching him decide like, I like this guy. I like his mentality. I like this guy, right? So he's like, we're all in there. Then you see Don Krieg. I'm like, Don Krieg is scum, the poison gas, the mask, all of that. Bro, and it was Gin versus Sanji. And the pain Gin was in fighting Sanji, but he still had to do it anyway. So Gin was loyal. He was locked in. Zoro versus Mihawk. Again, just there's so much in Baratier where I'm like, man, Mihawk is deadly. Zoro, he stood on business. Sanji, what a fight. And then Luffy's like, you know what, Don Krieg, get your bum ass out of here. Just knocks him out of here. And I'm just like, listen, bro, this is it. This is it. This is it. And then, bro, the ceiling point was Arlong Park. I'm telling you, every single time. I always tell people, it's like, what is it that made you fall in love with One Piece? Because I liked One Piece a lot at Baratier. Bro, Luffy versus Arlong.
Same.
Luffy versus Arlong. I was too young to really understand the gravity of Nami asking for help and him putting the hat on the head. When Luffy washed Arlong, like stomped him through the entire park, and it said, Nami, you coming with me? I said,
that's
okay,
right.
Okay, Captain,
I was like, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here, Nakama too, bro.
I was about to say, where my
baby.
straw hat at? Where my straw hat at? Oh my God. Give me a straw hat, Mom, please. Yo, and I was like,
straight up, dude.
Straight up, man. I was like, yeah, Luffy not playing. He's not playing, bro. Like, oh my goodness.
Bro, and I think the beautiful thing about I'm sorry to cut you off. The beautiful thing about One Piece is how that repeats, right? So like when you're going on the journey, you have that moment with Luffy versus Arlong. Then like you get another one in Drum Island where you're like, man,
Drum Island
with this crew, bro. Like I really, really rock with them. Then you get to Alabasta, you're like, nah, I really rock with these dudes. And then you get to Skypiea, and then you get to Water 7 and Lobby, and you're like, oh no, my crew's breaking apart. Like you can't do this to me. But then once they get back together, like, nah, I'm here forever, bro. Like I'm genuinely here forever. It's beautiful.
That stretch is next level, bro. Next level. I love that, man. It's just there's so many moments, right? And we're gonna get into this portion where it's gonna be like probably the longest portion of the podcast, solely because I have a question. Your most iconic moments from the big three, like your favorite moments from the big three, because there's so many. There's so many, and you can pick as many as you like. But like I want to get to the point, because this is like us, you know, we're either at the park or we're sitting in a living room or a basement, and we're just yapping about anime. This is the vibe we're at now, bro. So it's like, yo, just list them off, the ones that come to your mind. Like, what's the first memory from all of the big three? Say big four if you want to throw Dragon Ball Z in there, but just like throw some moments out, man.
Okay, I'll go in order then. So with Dragon Ball, first thing that comes to mind for me anytime I think of maybe just anime in general is Gohan going Super Saiyan 2. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yes.
That to me is that is not only Dragon Ball Z. That is what Shonen Jump any Shonen Jump series should strive to be. It's that moment right there when Gohan's fuse blows. You have the boom, and I don't care if it's in English where you have Gohan Angers playing, or in Japanese where you have the legendary
whoa, yeah, bro, that's classic.
And then you have the narrator talking about some Suini.
Yeah,
Suini
yes,
Gohan.
yes, yo, so epic,
It's
bro.
so peak, dude.
Yo,
It's like, man, so it's like that for me that is Dragon Ball for me, is that
that is Dragon.
for
Yeah,
sure.
that's it. That is
I
it.
love it. I really, really love it. For Naruto, because of the Linkin Park theme songs, it would have to be Naruto versus Sasuke.
AMVs, yep.
The AMVs, you know what I'm saying? Like, I watched those so many times that Naruto vs Sasuke just as a whole has to be that. I'd never really experienced anything like it before. I was like, bro, this is crazy. And Naruto lost. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah,
this
man.
is insane. So that for me, that entire batch of episodes will always be super iconic for me. In regards to the part 1 Naruto. In Bleach, bro, the first Bankai, I have it on my wall. Because that first Bankai transformation is special, dude.
I remember.
Because the entire arc is building to it, right? And so I'm coming at this obviously from Dragon Ball, and I can't wait to see what a transformation looks like in another series. So it's like, I can't wait to see what it looks like. And when he comes out looking so clean, not only does he look clean, he then starts speed blitzing Byakuya, who's known as the Speed Blitz King.
Yes, the GOAT. The
so,
GOAT.
It's like, come on, man. So that for me, for sure, out of the first watch. And then for One Piece, that's the tough one. Because I feel like I have a different answer for different parts of the journey. But for the two, for sure, that stick out to me, like I said, from the first part of the journey, when I was first going through it, would have to be the Nami Help Me and the Walk to Arlong Park. And the second one would have to be the moment that made me really want to not just become a writer, but also make me want to start sharing these experiences on YouTube. And later it would become YouTube, but at the time, it was this girl that was in my English class. And I couldn't stop talking to her about One Piece because she was the only person I knew that was into One Piece. So when I got to class after experiencing the Luffy vs. Usopp stuff, which is my second answer, I went straight to class and I was like, bro, what do you mean Usopp is leaving the crew? This ain't happening. This ain't happening. You know what I'm saying?
Insanity, brother.
And it's like, it's a stretch where Usopp, he gets taken up by the Frankie family for having the money, right? And then you go over, you have to walk to the Frankie house, and it's like, dude, what in the world is going on? I thought we came to this island as shipwright and everything's going down. Then they destroy the Frankie house. Luffy makes a decision. Now we're actually going to part with the Going Merry here. And then we get back to the Going Merry. Luffy's about to make the declaration. Usopp then wakes up and they start having a conversation. In the middle of the conversation, Luffy's like, yo, we're getting rid of the Merry. And then we have the most incredible dialogue exchange in the entire series between Luffy and Usopp. It feels so real, dude. So real. And the anime does such a great job from it. And then you have the Luffy versus Usopp confrontation that, to me, just... I'd never experienced anything like that before, and maybe even still to this day, where I was just so caught off guard. And then the payoff from then and everything else that happens in Water 7 to then having Sogeking standing right next to Luffy when he declares on the WG, like, yo, shoot down the flag, and Robin's I Want to Live, and it's like, all of that together, that is One Piece. You know what I'm saying? That is my first initial walkthrough and experience of One Piece, man. But I want to hear yours, because I feel like everyone has their moments. And especially when it comes to the big three, it's like, there's so many, dude.
There's so many
There's
ones,
so
bro.
many.
So, like, for me, because there's some moments, because I could easily say all of your moments as well, because those are all memorable moments for me, right? For me, Dragon Ball Z, a lot of people's like, oh, Goku turning Super Saiyan for the first time, or Gohan Super Saiyan 2, right? For me, because I grew up watching DBZclips.com. I grew up watching the Japanese sub clips with no subtitles as a kid. So I saw Majin Buu early. I saw Kid Buu early. I saw Vegito early. I saw Cell bro, I saw all, I mean, these are like 1 minute clips. So I had no context. I'm just seeing these guys. And I'm like, yo, and I've watched it. You know, when you're young, you got that brain rot. So you're just watching the same thing over and over and over again. There is one clip that I will never forget as long as I live, bro. And it's Goku Super Saiyan 3 versus Kid Buu. And it's when they're standing apart from each other. And Kid Buu is upside down. Tell me if you remember the sequence. Kid Buu's like upside down because he just reformed, right? And then Goku is standing up. And then they just start, sorry, excuse my French, but I'm getting hyped. They just start boxing, and then the music is playing. It's like, and then you see everybody around the universe. They're all watching them scrap. Like, Goku's giving them crazy shoulder barges, and I'm just like, yo, this is just boxing. It's just pure boxing. And in that moment as a kid, I just could not stop getting so excited to see Cell, Frieza, all of these villains watching Goku, King Kai, and all the people that died, Pycon, Vegeta, Hercule, they're all watching Goku, and they're like, yo, Goku, you have to beat this man or we're cooked. We're all cooked. And I'm just like, yo, as a kid, I'm just like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. This is it. Like, I felt like my life was on the line watching that fight.
Legit, dude.
Oh my God, that is such a classic. That one. Another special moment as well. Another special moment as well. It's not the what's it called? Not the Super Saiyan 2 transformation specifically, but it's right after that where Cell is like, he's like, okay, he's sizing up Gohan. He beat the Cell Juniors, and you remember that first clash they had, where like when they're boxing, bro, and they're matching each other's fist, and it's just straight hands. I'm telling you, bro.
Dude, I have that clip. I have both that clip saved in my computer.
Yes.
And I have the other clip that follows right after that, when Gohan's arm is really, really bad from that clash that they were having. Whenever they're throwing hands. Yeah. And Cell's like, all right, let me see what you got. He goes, Kame. Gohan's the other side. He's like, well, I mean, I gotta do it too. So he's like, Kame. And so the music's building. We cut over to Chi-Chi, and Chi-Chi's like, Gohan? And like everything's shaking on the world. Piccolo's like, yo, what's going on?
What's going on?
And then Gohan's like, May, and Cell's like,
what?
May, like they're charging. And so Cell's like, let's see what you got now then. And Gohan goes, and in the background you have Goku in the background. They're like,
Goku's like pushing it too, yeah, bro. So I got a hipster take.
Peak.
I got a hipster take in that moment, right?
Okay.
That's not my favorite Kamehameha ever. My favorite one ever is the first one they do where Cell was pressed. So he's launching out and Gohan's just watching him and he's really putting his whole soul in. He's like, Ka, May, and bro, he launches it. Everyone's scared. It's a giant, massive beam. And Gohan starts whispering Kamehameha slowly. He's doing it like he's in the edit, like real slow. I'm like, wait a minute, what am I about to see? And the high at the end was so, yo, it shook my room. My room shook when he did it. I was like, yo, I'm with it. I'm with it. So like, bro, I can, Dragon Ball Z brings out my inner child so much. I can't help but yell. Like I can't. And then there's like,
I feel you.
There's Super Boo and Ultimate Gohan. Yeah, bro, I can go forever. But to move on to the next one, with Naruto, for me, it's always Rock Lee versus Gaara. And it's like, I don't want to say that's not true, because there's also like the Zabuza moment as well. That's just fantastic. But like as a kid, I remember watching the Chunin exams.
He's just like,
bro,
Dai Sensei.
Bro, he said, all right, Lee, take him off. I'm like, what do you mean take him off? He's like, wow, that is better. He drops it, bro, and you see the explosion, and everyone's like, oh my God, yo,
Tamari's like, oh, what's it happen for dropping a couple pounds of weight?
I'm just like, all right. As a kid, you're just, you know that DJ Khaled meme with the wine glass? You just stand up and you're just like,
Legit.
You're just standing up. And it's just from that point on, it's like you see Gaara get punched in his mouth and he's laying. I'm like, finally, somebody got him. Finally, man. Nah, man, that was my moment. That was my Naruto moment. The Uzumaki, the uppercut on Neji. That's a classic for me because Neji had beat the piss out of Hinata just before. He's talking cash money about destiny, disrespecting Naruto. Naruto gets him with a mean uppercut. And I'm like, oh, we needed that. The streets needed that. Everybody needed that. So like, that's one for me. And then with Bleach, it's so funny. It's when when Rukia was about to get executed, and Ichigo just pulls up, standing with Rukia on his shoulder, and you're just like, that's my guy.
That's my
goat. That's my goat.
He stopped that Phoenix from coming and he's just standing there like, hey Rukia, like what's good?
Up? And Rukia's like, there's no way you're here. What are you doing here? He's like, I told you I was gonna save you. Like, what? I was just like, that's aura right there. That's it, bro. That's it. The nonchalant gimmick too. I'm like, I'm with it. It's just clean. It's clean as a kid. Underrated, but Kenpachi versus Ichigo.
Oh, legendary.
That ending. This like Zangetsu is like, yo, wake up, bro. Let's tap in.
Yep.
Let's lock in.
Like,
I was
together
like,
we
yeah.
can defeat him. He's by himself. He can't hear his sword, bro. We got this.
Yes, dog. And I'm just like, bro, okay. I'm sorry, I keep naming moments because I'm so excited, but like, then there's also, do you remember, and I want to hear your opinion on this too. Do you remember the shock of Aizen at the end of Soul Society? Oh my God, the shock.
Dude, I'm so glad that there was nothing around back then that could have spoiled me on that moment. Similar
No
to the
spoilers.
CP9 reveal.
Yes.
Similar to CP9. And like, when I think of my favorite plot twists ever, Aizen is definitely up there in regards to, you spend the whole arc with the Soul Society being the bad guys, and you're building up the Byakuya versus Ichigo stuff. In the background, you have this subplot cooking with Aizen, where he gets taken out, and you're like, yo, what in the world is going on?
Yeah, why
you
is he
continue
dead?
to see him in flashbacks, and it's like, okay, so did Gin do it? Did Toshiro do it? Like,
Yep.
who did it? When he
Yep.
pops up directly after Ichigo versus Byakuya, it's like, oh man, it's me. I'm the one that did it. I'm like,
There's no way.
and then Ichigo, after we just saw what Ichigo
The
had done to Byakuya, bro,
Yes.
we saw like this dude can box Kenpachi. He can box Byakuya. He can box anyone. Aizen comes in, takes on him and Renji at the same time and blocks. Now you feel like number one, bro, in the middle of it going down.
Bro, one finger. That's what it was for me. And I was too young to comprehend the fact that he stopped the MC music with a finger. And what made it worse is he just put it down and blood just flies everywhere. I'm like, yo, what is going on?
Yo, I was like, dude, I never saw Cell do this, bro.
Bro, I was
This is
like,
crazy.
Yo, oh my God, I couldn't believe it, bro. That Aizen twist, bro. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that twist, bro. So, you know what? I'm gonna change. I think that's my number one Bleach. That's my number one Bleach memories. That Aizen betrayal. Oh my God, that was just shocking.
Dude,
One Piece.
I'll never forget. Oh, I'm sorry. But
No, go. Yeah.
Dude, I'll never forget when we finally got to the Rancor saga. Because obviously, I'm sure just like you, or just like me, you watched the Bound arc, right? Like you didn't know it was filler.
Of course. Yeah, I didn't know it was filler.
So after you finish the Bound arc and you get to finally see what's been building up with the Rancors and the Hollows and stuff, dude, the one thing that always stood out to me in regards to like from my memories from that time period when I was first going through that initially was the Spanish music, bro. Because obviously you know how I am, bro. I was like, dude, you start the arc, all you hear is. I'm like, bro, is this anime?
I was like, yo, what are we doing here? Who's cooking like that? Who's cooking with grease? Who was that? Yo, bro.
I was like, bro, this dude hit the main villains in Bleach have some of the best music I've ever heard. You can play it on the radio.
On the radio, bro.
I was like, man, but go ahead and what? Because I just wanted to talk about that. Yeah?
Nah, bro. Like, I was praying. I was like, please say the Spanish guitar, please, because that is like, if there's one thing that Bleach has over all the other big three, is those OSTs, but it's the Spanish guitar. Nothing tops the Spanish guitar, and nothing, bro. And I feel like every Bleach kid had the same reaction to Ukiyora's theme, where they're like, yo, this theme is heavy. I was like, yo, what is going on? So like,
for sure, that theme made me think Ukiora was number one, like
bro,
number one as Spada.
To me, he was the number one. I don't care who it was. It wasn't Stark. It wasn't Yami. It wasn't any of them bums. It was Ukiora. He was number one. So it was like, yo.
That's right.
But for One Piece, there's so many moments, right? I was talking a lot about Baratier as well. But if I would remember the most iconic moment for me in One Piece, it had to have been Gear Second versus Blue Note. That moment for me sticks in my head because Luffy had never done a power-up before. So we didn't even know what a One Piece power-up really looked like. And it's like CP0 were so quick, they were so powerful, they had Tech Eye. You're like, how are they gonna get past this? Like, what are they gonna do? They had just run into they'd already won. Was Aokiji before, or Aokiji was definitely before?
It was before. It was before, yeah. It was right after.
So they'd already. Yeah, so they had just dealt with Aokiji, and I'm like, man, what is Luffy gonna do to bridge this power gap? And what was the line he said? I'm such a fraud right now. He's like, I won't ever be beat again. He said something like, I won't ever lose again, or something like that.
He was basically like, as he went down, and his friends are coming back in the background, like, I had to get stronger. If not, we were all gonna lose eventually, right? So yeah. I was like, man, I'm gonna let that happen ever again. You know what I'm
Never
saying? So
again,
like,
and bro, the fist on the ground, the pumping of the legs and the steam and the pink. Oh, I'm like, yo, what is he doing? And then it was the jet, bro. Oh my god, the jet pistol shook my spirit. It shook me, bro. I completely crashed out. I crashed out. I couldn't believe he moved that quick. Bruno didn't know what happened. Bruno was like, wait a minute,
Yo, dude, connecting to that jet pistol, because that I actually made my Steam name jet pistol because of that moment, because that's how I understand the impact, because that's how much it hit me. Connecting that jet pistol to another iconic jet pistol is whenever we come back from the time skip, and we're trying to figure out like exactly what you just said. Like, okay, Luffy just lost. He lost everything in several arcs in a row. He couldn't beat the admirals. He couldn't survive against the pacifista. He made it to Marineford. He was a small pebble in the midst of all of these diamonds. Like, he couldn't do anything. So what's gonna happen now when he comes back? That single attack that he did against Bluno was now able to one-shot the same thing that ended up taking out his entire pistol. It's so good.
Classic. So my whole computer just like died for like 1 second, but we're back. But I can like put together what you said, but like if you want to repeat it, just let me know real quick.
Oh no, I was just saying that coming off of the time skip, when Luffy hit the pacifista with the jet pistol, like that has a similar amount of impact for me, because I was like, bro, this man just lost everything.
Yeah,
he lost
man.
literally everything. He was a small pebble in the midst of all these diamonds in Marineford. He couldn't beat the admirals. He couldn't beat the pacifista. So he comes back in. We're like, okay, what are the Straw Hats capable of? And Oda did it in classic Oda fashion, where he comes in and beats the dude who took all of the Straw Hats out in a single attack, bro. Originally, it took all of the Straw Hats to take out a single pacifista. Luffy came back and said, man, I got this fodder, dude. Oh,
one
jet
shot
pistol, dude. And it's like
one
that
shot,
connection to the original jet pistol, like those two jet pistols for me are so iconic. So
bro,
iconic.
And the One Piece fan letter made it so much more extra too. Like he bounced like it's like a Spalding basketball off the ground. I said, okay, yeah.
Bro, you know what he had? He had you remember look at the hang time, look at the flying motion when he at the hang time, bro. He was like, oh.
I'm with it. I'm so with it, bro. And it's like, it's so funny because it's like with these moments, so many people are gonna listen to this and be like, yeah, I felt that too, and I felt this too. And like, that's the beauty of the anime community. And I think that's when people really like anime, is like you don't realize, but everyone reacts the same way. Like my favorite thing ever is seeing people react to Luffy punching the Celestial Dragon. Because if you really paid attention, the buildup is it's too overwhelming for you to deal with.
100%.
It's too overwhelming because the punch is so aggressive, and the anime, it turns black and white. Like you could feel the anger. You can feel him punching the bigotry out of us. I'm just like, yo, I see that. Like you saw Martin Luther. If they really wanted to play, you saw Martin Luther King, you saw Gandhi, you saw Nelson Mandela, you saw all their silhouettes,
all in the background.
All in the background. You know, bro, just like, yo, all the freedom fighters, Simon Bolivar, like, yo, I'll bring them all out, dog. Like, he's just throwing them all out, yo.
Legit, bro, like, you're absolutely right, man. Like, that is, it just had such incredible buildup. You can't not feel it in the moment, bro, because you don't know what's coming. You don't know what's happening next. And because the entire arc, and they've been talking about, yo, if you touch Celestial Dragon, just touch him. An admiral is coming. And we already dealt with Aokiji, who one-shotted us. So it's like, we can't do that. We can't deal with that. Zoro almost caught him early in the arc. Jewelry Bonnie was like, no, we can't do that. So it's like, in the back of our heads, we've been, throughout the course of the arc, like, yo, you have to fear this. You have to fear this. We have to fear this. So when that happens to Hachi, Luffy's like, we all know Luffy. So we're all like, is he actually gonna do it? Like, there's no way. He turns around, he has that face on, it's like, hold up, dude.
He's gonna do it.
That's when you pull the pants. Like, okay, I'm with you, Luffy. I don't care what happens of this.
That's true. The walk up.
And you punch him.
It was the walk up. I forgot about the walk up because Papa Goon was in the background like, yo, Luffy, chill. Luffy, chill. And he's like, I ain't stopping. No, he's...
Bro, even Hachi, he grabbed onto his leg. It was like, Mugiwara. Don't do it, Mugiwara.
Don't do it. And he's like crying.
Luffy looks at him. It makes him even angrier, bro. Then he's really pulling up with the guns. You know what I'm saying? You see the vein popping.
Bro,
I gotta
when Charlos pointed that gun at Hachi and Luffy turned around, I said it's over. It's over. It's cooked. He's finished.
That's it.
He's finished.
That's it.
I forgot another iconic moment because I always say this. People don't talk about this moment enough. They don't talk about it, bro. People forget how much of a scumbag Bellamy was. And Jaya, they keep forgetting, right? And they was trashing him, making fun of him, spitting on him in bars, embarrassing Nami, all of that, bro. They saw, bro, when he saw what happened to Norland, bro, there's something just about Bellamy jumping up and down, still talking Cash Money. Everyone's laughing and giggling. Bro, that panel, the way Luffy rocked Bellamy to the ground, like the pose, he held the pose, rocked him, the indented fist. I'm like, oh my God, the worst punch in anime, bro. Yo, I'm telling you.
And it was so wild because like in the midst of him hopping around, one of his crewmates is like, oh my God, this guy's worth 100 mil. We don't know that, but he knows it. He's like, bro, this man is worth 100 million. Like, you can't mess with this dude.
And he's trying to tell him.
He's trying to rush to Bellamy. He's trying to be like, yo, you can't mess with this dude. He doesn't get there in time. Luffy's like, hold the pose. Then the 100 million bounty falls on his face. It's cinema, bro.
Unreal, bro.
Cinema, man.
And he's like, yo, Straw Hat, where you going? To the sky with the blood of his enemies on his knuckles. I said, hard body. Yo, it's hard. That's it, bro. Straightest face ever. I said that's a man right there. That's a grown man. That is a man.
Dude, another one that, now that you bring that up in regards to like intensity, dude, how did you feel when you were going through Marineford for the first time and you saw Luffy with the log and he just pulls out, Jinbei's like, Rapunzel! He tosses Luffy in front of all three admirals, bro. And so you're sitting there and you're like, yo, what in the world is going on? You have the incredible animation, you've got the craziness there. And then you have Akainu, I'm sorry, I think it goes from Uzan, he's like, like, boy, you've made it up this far. Kizaru's like, But bro, when you go to Akainu, and Akainu's like, oh, Dragon no
Dragon Son,
like,
like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, the Admirals never looked cleaner than that moment because you just saw the magnitude. I said, oh, these guys different. They're all different. You can't even touch them, Luffy. You can't touch these men. You can't. The aura was unparalleled, bro. Like, unparalleled, bro. You were so proud of Luffy in that moment. You're like, yeah, Luffy, that's great. But I think that moment was just more about the magnitude of those three admirals, bro. That's why they're so iconic. That's why no matter how much we love Fujitora and like, I mean, I don't really think people love Greenbow like that. But like, no matter how much we like the admirals, there is nothing that's gonna beat the classic three, bro. Those guys, immovable objects. That's what we saw. It's like, yo, you're not stopping these guys. Like, so, for sure. Oh my God, what a classic moment. Jesus, bro. We could talk about the big three forever, but in this last segment, I want to save moments of other classic animes because I feel like for people that are, my hope is that this can reach the ears of people that haven't watched anime before so they can see the passion, right? There are certain animes that we've all seen that are classics, right? I would put this in my you have to watch this list in order to be, there's like a starter level anime fan and there's like, say there's like a, there's a bronze level and you have the silver, the gold. If you want to hit that platinum diamond status, we're talking FMA, FMAB, we're talking Death Note, we're talking Code Geass, Gurren Lagann.
Talking about this greatness right here.
You're talking about Hunter, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Listen. Hunter, I always tell people this, and this is no shade. I'm just saying this, for comedic effect. But it's the intellectuals anime, man. It's the anime. It's the anime where you're sipping tea and you're drinking wine by the fire. You're contemplating humanity and you're thinking about complexities of life. And you're just like, you're rubbing your chin. Like you're really like you know what I'm saying? It's the intellectuals anime because it's so deep. It's so deep and it's so dense. And when you get to Chimera Ant Arc, all of a sudden you're a therapist. All of a sudden you gotta go. You're taking psychology courses.
Right there. It's right there, bro.
Yeah, you're seeing psychology form from sociopathy to empathy to altruism to you see anthropology. You see anthropology. That's what it is. It's got it all. Like all the sciences is in, bro. It's all in Chimera Ant, right? So like, but from those pockets, and I'm just gonna say this now. There's no way we're not gonna talk about Takamura versus Brian Hawk because they need to know, bro. They need to know about the sports.
You can start it off, bro.
Listen,
that's a speech right there,
bro. Because you don't understand. So like for the people that was like, oh, you know, I don't like fantasy, or you know, I'm not really into action like that. But you're a sports guy. Listen, if you liked boxing, if you grew up with dads and uncles that always talk about Ali and Frazier and Sugar Ray Leonard and Roy Jones Jr. and all these heavy hitters, right? Like, what's his name? Tom Hearns. Like, bro, these are the names I'm throwing out, right? Hajime no Ippo is one of the most absorbable animes you can watch just as a casual ever because it is pure boxing down to a T. It teaches you everything about boxing. After you've watched Ippo, you can watch boxing and understand everything that's going on. That's how good it is. But the real appeal of boxing is when the fights, you see the investments, you see the stakes, and there's no greater stakes in anime history than Takamura versus Brian Hawk. Because this man, Brian Hawk, pulled up to Japan, disrespected their women, the country, the culture. He slapped the coach. Like when he slapped the coach, RECON.
I forgot he did that, bro.
He slapped the coach, bro.
He slapped him, dog.
It wasn't even a regular slap. He backhanded him.
He backhanded him.
Bro. And I'm just like, and everyone's thinking about the greatest crash outs of all time, like Gone, like Adult Gone, like hopefully I'm not spoiling, but I'll just say like you're talking about Gone, and you're talking about Luffy's crash outs, and you're talking about Goku Super Saiyan, bro. There's nothing more aggressive than Takamura snapping, and as he's like envisioning, he's like, wait a minute, where am I? What's going on?
Yep.
Who is this man in front of me? Why is he laughing? And he's like, wait a minute, who slapped my coach? Who is that? Who is that? And he opens his eyes and he's like, it's all your fault. And he just goes, oh my God. No, the violence.
Ham, bro.
The violence, it's so bad. Brian Hawk is in the midst of getting beat to a pulp. And he's like, oh my God, this guy's trying to kill me. Yo, he's actually gonna kill me. I'm scared. Yo, the whole time, bro, it's the biggest switch up in anime history. What were your thoughts in that moment? Because I remember seeing that and I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever witnessed.
Bro, it's the lead up to from the other side, right? Because the entire season, Takamura has been trying to watch his weight. So like, you know,
yeah,
he's not at 100%.
I forgot about,
He's not at 100%, bro. So Ippo, from the reader's point of view, we're like, okay, we're seeing Takamura go throughout these episodes, and he can't do what he wants to do. He's skinnier than he's ever been. He's depressed. He's trying to, like, it's really, really getting to him. And then that's when this starts happening. And so now you have Takamura dealing with his weight control, the coach getting slapped, Hawk's coming in talking a whole bunch of junk. So now whenever you get into the fight, you're wondering, can Takamura pull it off, having to watch his weight, while at the same time get revenge on the coach and have the entire gym on his back, because you know what his goal is. So all of that is riding into this fight. It has godly amounts of buildup, 25 episodes worth of buildup, and you get like 4 episodes of not just straight hands, but this is, like, I would dare say to anyone that is a fan of professional wrestling as well, that's all based on buildup and theatrics.
The theater, yes. The
theater of this fight is true. The spectacle of it is truly what makes it special, because it's a personal fight, but it's also something that feels so grand, where you could show Takamura versus Brian Hawk after having experienced all that to anyone, and it'll feel like if you watch like a giant UFC fight from 2 people who are meeting for the first time, or a boxing fight like you were saying earlier with the legends. It truly felt so larger than life that, and when you're in the moment, you really want Takamura to win, as if he was actually real. Like, it's you're so immersed in the moment where you're like, I don't care what happens, we are taking this dude down, bro. He did the unforgivable, dog. And so, like you said, within that moment, then whenever you see the switch up and he's just beating the flagnards out of him, you're like, it's the same thing I felt when Luffy punched the Celestial Dragon, where I'm like,
let's
go!
It is the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same feeling. It's like, beat him to the ground. Don't stop. Please don't stop. Don't stop,
dude.
Yo. And it's the fact that the entire country was on his side, because it's in Japan. So the entire country, and it's like, bro, there's nothing like Hajime no Ippo crowd noise. Nothing like it, bro. Nothing like it, bro. I'm telling you, the only thing that ever rivaled it was Ace of Diamond. And that was the thing for me. Is like,
That's coming
Bro,
back.
don't even get me started on that, bro, because I waited. I didn't finish the manga, and I'm so glad I didn't finish it because I need to see my boy cook. So I'm just like, yo, I'm here. So like that is a moment for everybody. Like Brian Hogg versus Takamura, that's a great moment. I mean, there's also Anderson versus Kamogawa. Like for real Ippo fans, like that's also a same concept, except Anderson had a little bit more class, so we forgive him a little bit, right? We forgive him. But like series like Code Geass, I think it's like, how do you even encapsulate Code Geass in a sentence? Because it's so dense, but from many perspectives. It's like from discrimination to war tactics. Like the tactics are incredible. You got your mecha elements for the gun wing heads like us. Then you've got pieces of like romance, right? And you've got heart-wrenching moments that break you. Like, bro, that Shirley moment, son. Oh my God. You want to talk about pain, bro?
That was pain.
That Shirley pain is special. That's a special pain. And when she said, bro, no matter what happened, I could lose my memories all over again. I'll keep falling in love with you. I said, yo, I started screaming. Man. I screamed, dog. I screamed. My heart. She tore my heart to pieces and threw it and stomped on the ground. I said, Shirley, he didn't deserve you. He did not deserve you. He did not deserve you at all. No, you're so much better than this.
Code Geass is so special. In regards to, I feel like you can watch it at any point in your anime journey, whether you're starting off or you're, like you were saying earlier, in the platinum tier, where you've watched like 100 anime. And I feel like you will get something out of Code Geass, because at its core, outside of everything that we just described in regards to the themes it goes into and all of those things, at its core, it is such a great TV show that it makes you want to keep watching and keep watching. And every episode ends in some kind of cliffhanger where you just have to find out what happens next. And, if you are into series that have like characters that are not just smart, but in regards to the way they handle things and have to survive in using very interesting and unique ways, this is that type of series where a revolution is happening, and you're seeing this happen from the ground all the way at the bottom, and you see this, starting from the bottom, now we're here. That's Code Geass, bro, where you see a dude make it all the way from the bottom and attempt to climb to the absolute pinnacle of what that verse has to offer. And it's his reasoning for it that makes you empathize with the dude, where it's like, I get it. Anything that he does, and he does some crazy stuff,
brother.
But when you think about his motivations, it's like, and if I were in his position, would I do the same for someone that I love? Like, for someone that means so much to me, would I do the same? And it's like, it's such an interesting series because it makes you empathize with Lelouch, while at the same time understanding that the other people who look at this dude, they're probably like, man, this guy he's nuts. He's so insane. Especially towards the end of the series. And but Code Geass for me, when I was first starting off anime, was like another one of those keystones where I was like, bro, like you were saying earlier, it has emotional moments, it has extremely hype moments, but it's those like, oh god, like you're locked in, you're watching an episode, you don't even know the time is moving, and you get to the end of the episode and Lelouch and Suzaku are like, Lelouch!
Yeah, bro. Beef. Yeah, beef.
Feed the black. And it's like,
instant beef, bro.
Come on, man. That's the stuff that Code Geass is, it at its core, it just strikes true. It's like those moments where you're so locked in and immersed that when things either end and or change to something else, you're like, oh, it's like, if for all of the One Piece fans out there who have only experienced One Piece, imagine that, but if an entire series was that. Where like, we know how Oda switches over to other things when it's getting like really, really interesting. Code Geass is that. It's like you get really immersed in one section, and then you go into another section until you get so immersed in that section that they're like, okay, now it's time to switch something else. It's like, crap, It's so good, man. I love Code Geass.
I'm telling you, man, if that's not a broadcast for you to watch Code Geass, if you haven't seen it, please, you are doing yourself a disservice. If you love this medium, you are cheating yourself out of culture. You're cheating yourself out of culture. That's how detrimental it is for you not to watch Code Geass, right? And then, I mean, there's so many classes we haven't mentioned. Like, I've mentioned FMA and FMAB. Again, like FMA is one of those series that from every episode matters, every character matters. And I think that's the thing that people don't understand. Every single character you see plays a role throughout the entire story. They don't go away. And that's what shocks me. It's like, there is no bad side characters. None. Everyone has a good story. Everyone matters. There's rarely anyone that you really hate. You can even say you hate Pride, but then you realize what he is. Like, it's like Greed. Oh my God. Like, bro, the character Greed, special. Fury King Bradley, one of the greatest villains, top 3 villain of all time, bro. Like, it's, these things are special. But like, what is, if there's a 2 or 3 animes in that bracket and tier to come to your mind, be like, yo, for you to be a platinum level anime man, you gotta have these in your list. You gotta have them. You gotta have those 3, at least.
So starting off selfishly, because you were talking about earlier that for you, Diamond No Ace is on the same level as Hajime no Ippo. There's another sports series that I love just as much as Hajime no Ippo that I feel like deserves. Actually, well, I want to bring up 2 here. Number 1 is Haikyuu, obviously.
Of course,
it's like a volleyball series that I feel like if you're an anime fan, you need to watch that. It is it is just that good. I don't care if you like sports or not. It is that type of series. But the one that I'm getting to is there's a series called Chihaya Furu. It is a series based around a Japanese card game called Karuta. Think about not Yu-Gi-Oh, but in terms of it's a series based on reflexes. So it's like how fast someone can hear something and then react. So like, let's just say someone's reading a poem and the card that's being read is they're trying to find on the mat where it is that that what the speaker's saying. So I'll give a quick example. Let's just say like the speaker says nani wazuni da 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 da, and then they say like when the mist is blank or whatever. The person that's in charge of or that's playing is like, oh, where is it? Boom. But you get to a point to where you're so good at it, at memorization, that these dudes are doing it in an instant of a second, where somebody will be like, no. And the moment they say that, the person on the field, knowing everything, goes, whoom, when they get rid of the card. So it gets so intense, where it feels like you're watching a Dragon Ball or a Naruto, but in actuality, it's a sports series. It's like Kuroko no Basket in the way that it showcases. I wouldn't say it goes that far with like superpowers and stuff, but it makes you feel it. To where there's certain characters in the series I say have Conqueror's Haki, because it's just when they walk into a room, other people are like, their knees are buckled.
See the aura. You know the aura's in there. We're like, all right, bro, they're here.
But I would recommend that series to anyone who not only enjoys sports anime, but like I was saying earlier, even just enjoys like those types of series, because and not only is it underrated and it deserves more recognition, but I feel like you could genuinely get something out of it. It's a series that's very inspirational. There's actually a quote in it that really spoke to me, and I still have it. It's in my phone. I look at it almost every single day. It's one of the characters tells the main protagonist, Chihaya. He says, in order to do what you want to do, you have to do the things that you don't want to do. Yeah. And the series is filled with so many profound things like that, that it really is inspirational. And so I would say Chihaya Furu. Yes, exactly. I would say Chihaya Furu is definitely one of those that I would put up there. Another one that is also sort of a sports anime, but I would say it's more so a series that it goes more into the psyche of the protagonist, and that is March Comes In Like a Lion. Have you ever watched that?
I've heard of it, but I have not watched it.
Dude, so this is a series that so imagine in the Chimera Ant arc when have you watched Hikaru no Go?
No, I don't think so either.
Or heard of it? So that is another series that I absolutely adore. Unfortunately, the manga ended a long time ago, but the series that I'm talking about is March Comes In Like a Lion. Imagine the Komugi and Meruem sections. Where in Chimera Ant arc, where somebody makes a series out of games like that, but similar to how in the Chimera Ant arc you have the Komugi and Meruem stuff, where the game isn't really what matters, it's how it's impacting the characters. Yes. That is sort of like what March Comes In Like a Lion is, where they're out there playing a game, but what's more important, rather than the win or the loss, is how it's impacting all the characters that are surrounding this thing.
I love those series. Those are great series.
And because it's in such a small town, everyone feels so close. And you get to really know all of the characters. It has an FMA thing going forward where every character is important. But not only is every character important, something that one character says in one episode can impact how a certain player feels going into this scene. And so you know them going into the episode, you're like, oh no, they're feeling a certain way because of something certain characters said. And you know that that's going to impact the matches ahead. And that's where like the drama and the intensity comes in. And it's such a well-told story.
It's giving Vinland Saga. It's giving Vinland Saga.
Could be very Vinland. As a matter of fact, very Vinland Saga in regards to the character writing. I think the character writing is as strong, for sure, as Vinland. That's another series that I would recommend to anyone. Vinland Saga. Of course. Phenomenal. But as a matter of fact, if you want to take it away, Vinland Saga. No, because
you got your third one. So yeah, I'm gonna let you cook. But I was just just to add it.
Okay, so yeah, for March Comes In Like a Lion, like I just think that if you are looking for an anime, and in particular one that hits in the, we were talking about in the beginning of the conversation, things that where you can empathize with, and or like Naruto, for example, and his feelings of loneliness and isolation, things of that nature. The main character, March Comes In Like a Lion, you get to see him at his absolute worst, and because of that, it reminds you of yourself when you're at your absolute worst as well. And he also, then you also see him at his best. And so it's the way this series is written is so immensely. I love it and I adore it. And just to give one more thing, because I can't go any anime conversation without talking about it. It's the most classic anime of all besides Dragon Ball. Neon Genesis Evangelion, I believe, is a must-watch for anyone who's ever attempted to watch anime. Yeah. Even like I said, whether it's your first or your last, that series is so immensely important to me. But I understand that it has to resonate with you in order for you to feel any kind of impact. So that's why I recommend it to anyone, because I don't know what you've gone through. But if what you've gone through will allow you to feel something from Evangelion, whether it's on your first watch, your second watch, or your third, or whatever it is, if it hits you at the right time, that is a series that will stick with you forever, alongside its movies. And so I had to go to 4 for that one. But I love,
bro. I'm with it because some of those I haven't seen. Like March Comes In Like a Lion, Hikari no Go, like Chiafaru. Like these are things I'm like, okay, this is something that I need to add to my repertoire so I can really, maintain this platinum level status that we're trying to get to here, right? So I'm with you on that. And then the ones I want to add on from my list. I'm a big fan of this. Me and my boy Quietly, we talk about this a lot. There's not a lot of people I get to talk to about this series. And I feel like you might have seen it. But Eureka 7, I don't know if you've seen that anime. Boy, oh my. Yeah, bro. That opening, special. Right? The same guys that did the Code Geass opening, flow, different, right? Bro. Yep. Eureka 7 is a special series. And it's special because there's so many character arcs for so many people. From Holland, from you hating him, to him growing up before your very eyes, to Talho, Renton, Elreka going from the I don't understand anything to the world to understanding what love is and having no idea what really love is, and then Renton Thurston watching that little man grow up into a man, and you're like, Renton, okay, stand up for your woman, yes. Like, yo, I'm just like, bro, because it's like, that was the thing with him and Holland the whole time. It's like, Holland was like, yo, he's little boying him so many times, and Renton is just this bratty kid. He runs away, bro. Ray, oh my God, Ray, and what was his wife's name? Oh my God, what is her name?
It's been so long, man.
Oh my God, it's been so long. Because I remember Ray. God, what is his wife's name? Either way, bro, that couple, incredible. It's just, and then there's like the themes behind it as well. It's got a lot of Ishval from FMA in it, and I'm just like, okay, so it's like Eureka 7, that's a classic, right? You gotta watch it. It's a mecha, but it's really more of a life anime. Like, it's a life mecha, world ending type thing. It's incredible. Another one that is very, very close and dear to my heart, and I throw it out there. The reason I love Ace of Diamonds so much, and I mention this because I don't like baseball. I never liked baseball, right? I always kind of had a view of it. But kind of like March Comes In Like a Lion, Ace of Diamond is about the baseball, but it's about the mind and the journey of an athlete. it encapsulates. Haikyuu's very good at this too, but I think Ace of Diamond takes it to a deeper level because there's so many other people that are competing against. Like, it's taking you to the highest level as a sports person, right? So normally the sports animes is like, all right, you know, we're the team, we haven't won in a couple of years, like everyone thinks we're bad. No, you're going into the elites. You're seeing the elites. You're going into the major leagues and you're seeing how they train. And just because you got a little bit of talent really don't mean you're gonna make it. And then you're seeing everybody hustling, everybody grinding. You're seeing the progression of somebody that keeps getting it wrong over and over and over again till they get the one thing that they've been practicing right. It's just that one thing, Recon. This the one thing. Bro, and it's like instantly his mind opens and he's like, oh, I gotta keep doing this over and over and over and over and over again. And he keeps adding to the tool belt and he keeps adding to the tool belt and you just see him and all of a sudden you're watching the grind. And that's why I love Ace of Diamond, because you watch every single step of the grind, and to see it pay off when it matters the most, when he gets his flowers, you're like, he goddamn deserves it.
He earned it.
He deserved it. He earned it, bro. From the gutter, my boy Saramura, my son. It's like watching your baby boy grow up into a man. I'm telling you, if you ever want to be a parent, just watch Saramura's journey and you will adopt him as quickly as you can, because that kid, bro, it's a beautiful, beautiful series. I've rewatched it like 9,000 times. It's the perfect series. But then I want to take it to another level where a lot of us are like, oh, we're all into action, we're into sports, we're into like super exciting things. But when it comes to the emotions and the heartstrings, and you know what I'm about to say, gotta watch Toradora, bro.
You gotta watch it, man.
You gotta watch it. You got to watch Toradora, bro, because even if you're not a big romance guy, it's the character types, and then it's the characters around them, and the hopes, the dreams, the dealing with people's personalities, pushing past people's vulnerabilities, the walls that are up. Everybody's got their own walls up, and everyone's putting on a face to protect other people, to protect parents, to protect themselves. And Toradora is all about stripping those walls bare. Everybody has to be vulnerable at some point. And boy, when I'm telling you the vulnerability, it shows you how much it stings. That's the part I love about Toradora. It shows you how hard it is to be vulnerable and how ugly it is. And I'm just like, bro, worst scene of my life ever. Worst scene of my life. The Christmas play.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. Bro.
The worst scene of my life ever. Worst scene. There's two scenes that really break my spirit. That scene where it's like, all right, and the dad, and oh my God, when he's not there, oh, I fell apart. Oh my God, my heart fell apart. It was like Will Smith and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. How come you don't love me, man? It was like that. I was like, nah, I can't do this. I can't do this again. Not again. Right? There was that scene, and then it was the what was it, like the Christmas ball or the fair or whatever, when Taigen made the sacrifice for Yuji and she was alone, and then she realized what she'd done, and she was like, oh my God,
dude, man,
she finally
realized about
it. That scene broke me because she was crying hysterically, and I was like, oh, I know that cry. That's pain. That's heartbreak right there. That's real heartbreak. I said, oh, she's hurt. She's cooked for weeks. It's over, bro. That's it. Depression. We're here. Oh my God, bro. I'm telling you, you gotta watch Toradora. And if you really just want to ruin your life forever, watch Your Lie in April. You'll ruin your life. The ending will kill you. The ending will kill you. I'm sorry. Don't do it.
Your Lie in April, Angel Beats. That's another one that will end your existence.
RECON, I've only watched Your Lie in April once because I'm too scared to watch the ending again. I can't go through that again. I cannot go through that again.
I feel you, bro.
I cannot go through that letter again.
It's one of those anime, right? Because you have one that you can only watch once because you're like, I can't go through it again. Then you have others that you can go through multiple times. Like your Gurren Lagans or your Hunter Hunters. Yeah. I've gone through both of those. Those are two others, by the way, that I would listen, man. Gurren Lagann. I'm not gonna take off my glasses for this one.
Yo, go ahead. Just let them know. Just let them know about the spirals.
Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. So you know what I'm saying?
They don't know.
You want to talk about the journey from boy to man.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about the inspirational journey that an individual goes through, but not just the inspirational journey. You get the laughs, you get the cries, you get the hype, you get everything that anime is so well known for, but it's
Everything.
times 10 because of how crazy the series is and how it blows everything up.
The scale.
It is so insanely good, man. Gurren Lagann is truly like, if we were to ever make a list of like 15 anime that every single anime fan should watch, it'd only be 15. Gurren Lagann has to be on that list. I firmly believe that. Just like Hunter x Hunter. And listen, man, if there's anyone out there that has not watched Hunter x Hunter because you just recently got into anime, let me attempt to sell you on this project, all right? Because Yoshihiro Togashi has been cooking for a very, very long time.
Very long time. Yes.
This is an individual that right before all this started, he was getting rejections. Like no one wanted to accept his work. He would start his work, then he would get declined. Start it, get declined. Start it, get declined. So he said, you know what? I'm tired of this garbage. And he looked out and he saw Dragon Ball and he saw Face of the North Star and said, you know what? I can create that. And he made Yu Yu Hakusho. He made one of the greatest anime ever made because he was tired of the garbage. And once he finished making Yu Yu Hakusho, he said, now I get to make what I actually want to make, which is an anime about anime, and an anime about video games, and an anime about all of my interests in movies and books and everything that I am. And he goes out and he creates a series that's like a collection of albums. If you're a fan of artists and you enjoy listening to people's discographies, whether it's from their first album to their last, you get to see Yoshihiro Togashi's entire discography, and each album is so different from the other, where one will resonate with you, another will not, but that's okay, because the entire package comes from the same brilliant mind of a creator who just gets stories, just gets characters, man.
He just does.
And so Hunter x Hunter is one that I would first recommend to anyone who's attempting to get into anime and manga, because that is, man, you want to talk about masterpieces, that's a capital M right there, bro.
Let me just add on to the beautiful soliloquy and dissertation of Professor RECON as well, that let's not forget that in a shonen world in Shueisha, where authors are rushed for their timelines and their deadlines and they have to rush their endings, this man Togashi can take 5-year, 10-year breaks and they're still waiting for him to write the manga because he's that goated. He is a deity. When it comes to shonen manga, I don't think you understand. We love Oda, but that's because Oda's consistent. That's it. That's just what he does. But when it comes to Togashi, they're like, we'll wait for you. You take as long, whatever you want to do, because whatever you've done to your fan base, they not leaving. The money's always here. To the day you die, you're gonna make money. So we'll wait for you. That's and that series is off the back of Hunter x Hunter. If you have not experienced it, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It's the reason it's my #1 anime. It is still my #1 anime, tied with FMAB Brotherhood. I can't pick between the two because it's so hard to, but those are my top ones. That's it. And it has not changed since. So if there's anything you guys can leave with today and go beyond, because it's inspired by Hunter x Hunter already. Go beyond your foolish convictions and what you've heard. Go beyond it and just read and watch Hunter x Hunter, please. It's worth it. It's worth your time. Just go do it.
148 episodes of peak, man. 405 chapters of peak, dude.
Of peak fiction, bro. Just peak fiction, bro. And it's only getting better. That's what's shocking me. It's like the arc he's writing is better than every arc he's written already. How has he done it? How does he do it?
He's aging like LeBron Raymond James,
yes,
bro.
Yes, bro. Hey, year 22, he's still doing it.
Dropping triple doubles.
Yo, bro, I was like, all right.
He's got like 3 brownies cooking in the kitchen, bro.
Exactly.
He's still cooking.
He's still cooking, bro. He's coming out when Demon Slayer died, Bleach is gone, we got My Hero gone, JJK Dawn, and this man is still dropping the heat every year, bro.
Every year, bro. Every year.
Timeless, a timeless legend, Togashi. That's what he is. Recon, there is at this point, because there's so many anime to talk about, we haven't even, bro, we just gotta stop here. Because at this point, this will be a 19-hour podcast. It's not gonna end. I can talk about anything because we've really paraphrased a lot of series. Because what we could do with a lot of these series is like, we could give you a full breakdown of Hunter x Hunter, Gurren Lagann, and it'd be a 4-hour stream. Because there's moments, there's character moments, there's everything. So if there's anything you get from this nostalgia podcast, this is the passion it brings out. When you really love a story like this is the medium that we're dealing with here, guys. This is it. We all grew up with the same childhood. This isn't just delusion. This is elite, top shelf storytelling creativity for anyone who's a creative. If you are creative, not watching anime is a disservice to your creative mind. It is an actual disservice because it takes creativity to the next level. So I implore you, ladies and gentlemen, these animes, it'll change you for the better. I genuinely believe it. It will change the way you think. It's an excellent series. Last thoughts, Recon. How you feeling, man? I know you're feeling a little full. How you feeling?
Dude, I mean, just thank you for having me on to be able to go on this trip down memory lane through so many series. And like you said, we didn't even get to like a 75% mark for so many series that we've enjoyed.
We didn't even get to Death Note, bro. Oh my god.
So many incredible series that both of us love. But to go on to your point about creativity, just to go back to One Piece and why it impacted me in the way that it did. If you are someone that's thinking about getting into anime, that series is what's allowed me, Jay, Rago, King of Lightning, so many of us to find it within ourselves to want to come on here and share what that series gave to us to other people, and then create a network of individuals that are alike in terms of not just in terms of how we feel about the series, but in terms of how this series resonates with us to the point to where we just want we want to find other people that are feeling the same way that we do about these series. And so if you are looking for a community, if you're looking for individuals that you really want to get with and speak to about things that you're really passionate about, the anime community, as toxic as it can be, is such a beautiful place. Because at the end of the day, there are so many of us out there that were impacted in such a positive way thanks to this series. I would not be here today if it were not for One Piece. I can promise you that. In regards to not doing YouTube and not in my career that I'm currently going as a writer, right? Like the entire series truly creatively inspired me so much that I wanted to make other people feel what this series makes me feel. And also on YouTube, I attempt to share the same excitement the series makes me feel to the individuals that I'm broadcasting to, and I'm sure Jay is the exact same way. Yep, and so for the individuals out there that are thinking about getting into anime, the only thing I can say is this: if you can find what One Piece means to me, to whatever that series is to you, I guarantee you, even if you find just one series, it will be worth the journey that you invested to attempt to get into this medium. Because there's so many incredible stories out there. If you just find one or two that resonate with you, the same way that some of the series that we've talked about on this podcast resonated with us, how could it not be worth the journey? Whether it's the entertainment experience, the life-impacting experience, or the way in which the aftermath comes about of you meeting other people thanks to that experience. Only good things can come from getting into this medium. And so I implore anybody who is even remotely interested in anime and manga to go out and find whatever floats your boat and whatever looks interesting to you, because it might just be your soul letting you know that is gonna be the thing that either puts you on the right track or allows you to find the person that will help you get on the right track, because it is that type of life impacting medium. It's a beautiful thing.
I could not have said it better. And just to really add on to that, this is like personal for me, because it was really the medium that helped me discover that I am a creative. For this whole time, I did not understand my mind. I didn't understand the way my brain worked, but it was One Piece, my love for One Piece, my love for anime, that spurred me to get on YouTube, because it's the first thing I thought to talk about. Then the creativity I'm seeing, like all the skits that you see I'm making, all the reactions that I'm doing, all the impressions, all the things that you guys laugh at, you say, this is great, oh my God, you have a gift. Me figuring out I even had a gift to speak in the first place did not come until I watched anime, because it did something to me. So like when I'm telling you, like, this stuff isn't just it's not just child's play. It's not just fantasy where you just like you go to escape, because yeah, it's an escape, but like this is what this podcast is about. It's about going beyond the concept of just your escape and realizing how it impacts your life in general. And I'm telling you, these stories that we're talking about, there is a story out there in this medium that will speak to you. Every facet, whether it's your faith, there's a lot of religious themes in this medium that makes you think, oh wow, I know what that's from. That's from Hinduism, that's from Christianity, Islam. It's from all of it. So like there's those aspects. Then there's psychology. If you want to be a therapist, you go look at Khmer Ant and you get all the therapy and the psychology you need. If you want the mind of an athlete, how to lock in, you got Ace of Diamond, you got Haikyuu, you got Hajime no Ippo, you got Slam Dunk. These are all about the mind of an athlete, the mind of a competitor, war, tacticians. God, we didn't even talk about Kingdom. You know what? Before I get out of here, you know what, Recon, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. We start talking about Aoki and his glaive. It's over, bro. We're not gonna leave.
It's
Recon,
over.
we gotta stop. We gotta stop.
Don't get me started on Kingdom, man. I'll be talking about the greatness of all Chinese warfare and the 700 chapters of depictions, bro.
Don't get me started on Kingdom. I'll crash out. I'll crash out right now if we start talking about Kingdom. Because that Kingdom read through, there is no better binge in history than reading Kingdom from start, bro. Stop.
Dude, you want to know what manga feels like? You read Kingdom, dude.
Yes.
That is what manga feels like.
Yeah, if you want to know what charisma and aura, when you know the definition of charisma and aura, yeah, read Kingdom. You see majesty, magnitude, speeches that shake your room. You feel it. That Mobu speech in Coalition, my room shook when I read it.
Legit.
I was like,
you're like, put me in the game, coach. I'm here.
Coach like, yo, Mobu, I'm ready to die. Mobu, let's go. Yo. Oh, we gotta go.
For real, dude.
For real, we gotta go, man. Recon, any last minute plugs before we get out?
All love to you, JD, man. Yo, seriously, guys, keep supporting the podcast here because it is some awesome stuff, man. All love to the good brother JD and the rats, the beautiful Ratatouille community that's here.
Yo, we out here.
All love to everyone, and you can find me obviously over on King_Recon over on YouTube, at Yoshida Shoyo on Twitter, which is normally when I talk about video games, things of that nature. But besides that, yo, Jay, man, seriously, it has been such a pleasure, bro. Such a pleasure, and I look forward to the future of this podcast because only great things are coming. And if there's anything that we can gain from this discussion between you and I, like you said earlier, is that so many people grew up in the same exact childhood in multiple different parts of the planet. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. So if anyone out there resonates with what Jay and I are saying in this, please let us know in the comment section to show 100%. Us just how many people out there also grew up in a similar type of environment.
Yes, 100%. And as well, if people have not watched anime before and you're trying to convince them, show them this last segment that we got into, bro. You'll get some. You'll catch them in the net, bro. I'll tell you. There's no way they can't. There's no way they can't. Guys, it's been awesome. This closes out episode 5 of the Beyond Legend podcast. I appreciate you all, Recon. It is a blessing to have you on every time. That's why the rats adore you, and we will be having you back. There's no way we won't. So until the next episode we have, I'll see you later, brother.
Yo, have a good one, y'all.